Hello and welcome back to that Eurovision site, Eurovision with a slice of life. And today we have something a bit different. We are going through the OGAE Second Chance for 2024. If you don't know what the Second Chance Contest is, it's essentially a bunch of OGAE fan clubs from around Europe gets a song from their national final that didn't get sent to Eurovision and enter it into the Second Chance Contest to give it a shot at success. Today I'm joined by
Hello, I'm Kittens and I use she, her pronouns.
I am Daniel. I use he, him pronouns. And Kittens, what do you think of this year's contest?
Well, I feel like there are some very much front runners
Yeah,
on this and some I'm not gonna call it bottom of the barrel, but there's some that
yeah.
are
I,
more
I,
mm, yeah.
I
I
would
mean,
say there are ones I heard at Euroclub and ones that everyone would leave Euroclub if they were played.
yeah. I think like the general gist of the second chance contest. I'm an
The,
expert,
the,
I promise.
the second
Um,
the second hand contest, you mean the DMGP?
the general gist is people tend to send the song that came second in the selection, but that isn't always a great
I
tactic considering that
I
the
am
voters for OGAE tend to prefer certain types of songs. I think that's
yeah,
fair to say.
I'm quite happy that a lot of countries here have seemed to steer away from that because I think just sending the second place one is just boring, really.
I mean, I understand that it's very logical. Like,
Yeah.
if you are going to be like, what is our second best chance, effectively, of winning, to go with the song that came second. But I think people do sometimes miss out that this is a contest amongst OGAE,
Yeah.
who have no, I mean, it's you can't just sit there and say everybody in OGAE has the same type of music, but there are a lot of members who have quite specific kind of preferences
Yeah.
in OGAE, and some songs are just going to be more an uphill battle than others.
I would say
Um, Lithuania.
some I would say some stereotypes about OG as an organization, they exist for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, it's not to say that anybody can't like any type of music,
Yeah.
but there is a majority
Yeah.
in OGAE who have a certain taste. And I think if you are serious about winning the contest, I mean it is a silly kind of fan contest in the end, but this is quite serious business for a lot of people. People do take it very seriously. The clubs take it quite seriously. And if you really want to win it, you have to think about how it's going to work. Same as for
Yes.
Eurovision, really.
I'll say one thing I was quite disappointed at, in a way, is that there's seven fewer songs from last year,
Mm,
which I don't know why there's a lot of countries that didn't send things. I'm sure they have good reasons for it, but especially now like Ireland had like a much better selection this year than last year. I think they would have probably got a very good result if they sent something like Guthuben, which was quite popular in the fandom.
mm.
And we've also seen like Albania, which I don't think would have done well with anything, but I'd rather have them get tanked than be not present. So
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like a really short list.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, it is noticeable by its absences.
and maybe there's like some I know Belgium. I'm probably blanking on some others that don't have national finals this year that did last year, but
Yeah, and obviously not all countries in Eurovision are OGAE members
yeah.
as
So we
well.
got
So there is
that's
the other fan club set whose name the name is zipped out my brain right now.
I think they
But
just there's a big group that's just condensed into rest of the world who I think pretty much always send a San Marino song.
they just kind of adopt a song, don't they?
Yeah.
From one of the
To,
others.
to be fair, that's what San Marino do.
Yeah, I mean, true. It's very on brand. Yeah, yeah, I agree.
So I think it's time that we go into our personal rankings. So we will be going through our individual top fives because we'll get into why. Uh, Starting off with the I think the only song that we both have in the top five, and it's at number five. It's from Sweden, Jacqueline with Effortless.
I mean, if this feels very targeted at the OGAE people. It is a song that has gone a bit kind of above and beyond this year. Like it has had that momentum in the fandom in a way that I don't think most of the other
No.
songs from Mellow this year really have. So, apart from obviously the winner, um, it's a great song. It's absolutely astounding. It's a fantastic song from like somebody who is a mellow debutante, on even though she has
Yeah,
many years of experience in it. Um, yeah, bring her back next year. If
yeah.
she is not back next year, I want it to be because she's too big to come back.
I think she will be welcome back as long as she wants to, and if she keeps coming back, I think it's a question of when, not if she wins the whole thing.
Mm,
Because there's the talent, there's the people around her who can write for her. And as you said, I think I've heard this song in like Eurovision events more than Marcus and Martinez this year.
mm,
It's just gone huge, and it's, it's this year's Mellow had quite a few like Mellow coded lineups. Like Medina, I think they've won in 2022 with Any Man. They didn't even get entered this year because of this song, and it's again, it's not the runner up, which yay, targeting to the audience rather than what
mm.
the people of Sweden and the juries wanted. They've gone with here's what we think will do really well because the people in OGE love it.
Yes. I just think that, it's genuinely a breakout track from this year and a breakout artist and somebody who is going to be like welcome back to events in the fandom for as long as they want to be
Yeah, I
honest.
think I think that's the birth of a new Kaino.
Mm. Apart from hopefully more successful.
Yeah. Okay, into our fourth places now, but and just because it's higher up on our list, I will go to you with your one.
My fourth.
Yes.
Okay, so this makes a lot of people mad because it's Constructor. Um, I I I really, 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 really enjoyed the song. I just think it was a work of art from start to finish, and it bangs. Like it is great. It is great to just dance to. It is great to put on on while you're on the elliptical in the gym. It is that is
Oh.
that's the vibe. Um, it's it's just a really good song, a really good return from Constructor for me.
I think one of the first things I thought after this year's Pesma, other than yay, was well, Constructor's going to do very well in the Second Chance Contest because it's a person that OJ sort of type sort of love,
Mm.
and it doesn't have the crux of having an audience who doesn't get it because everyone's going to get it because they know Constructor, they love Constructor, and
I do
I
think there
think
might have been some opportunities for them to explore other avenues because there was some great songs that came out of
yeah,
Pesma
I,
this
I
year.
think I it's a case of there are some great songs out of this year's Pesma, but if OG is served constructed, they're not gonna say no.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
as much as I'd have liked like a Zaina or something, who I
In
think would be a
a
good fit.
in a non-constructor year, they would have had a plethora
Yeah.
to choose from.
And so mine, it's Rick with Oh Boy, which is something I am so glad that the German club sent this because I think it got so overlooked in Das Deutsche Finale, even though I think it was by far the best song and performance. And I think it was very Germany of them to just not recognize that at all. I don't have high hopes for how it's going to do in this contest because I don't think Ballad Boys do particularly well with the demographic, really. But it's a sweet song with someone with a very good voice that I just like the song. It was one of my favorites from this national final season. When I look at the German national final, it's better than I remember, if I'm being
It
honest.
really is. It really is. I think if you took away a lot of the like, I think it was one of those things which was there's a big gap.
I think if you planted some of those songs in another country, you'd be like, yeah, this is good.
Hmm.
But
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like I definitely think it was one of the better produced songs this year. I think the staging didn't do it any favors.
no.
I think it needed a big boost, didn't get one. You could have really dialed up the drama on it, and they just didn't. Um, and yeah, I just think it needed just more. Germany, if you're listening, more.
So, your third?
My third, I'm gonna murder this because it's Portuguese. João Borges and Pelas Costuras.
Close, close.
Is that
I,
close?
I've heard much worse.
Yes, I have a Portuguese song in basically my top for the year. Who would have seen that one coming? Um, this one took a while to grow on me, but when it did, I was like, bam, I'm with it. I'm 100% on it. Um, it's definitely I think there was only two songs this year in FTC that I liked realistically, and one of them was probably everybody's most hated song, I think. But but certainly this one, it's on the bangers playlist. It will remain on the bangers playlist. I don't want to say it was robbed because I don't think it was robbed. Like I think Yolanda did amazingly and she was the perfect choice. Um, but my personal fave from that final, and I am very aware FTC is not for me. Generally, FTC is not for me. I'm like, I appreciate what you're doing, but it's generally not for me. But I was pleasantly surprised to pick this one out of the bunch.
Yeah, I say I'm okay about this song. That being said, it's my 16th from this year's FTC purely because of it just being an incredibly, just like almost offensively me coded FTC year. I'm not gonna sit here and say that like the televote winner that's quite popular with like the Portuguese fans is not something they should have sent because they should, but in another world, and this isn't just me saying my winner. It's he's a few places down my rankings, but I would love to see Leo Medea with his song. I think it would be quite a good fit. It's like fun coded, it's chilled back, and he's just a really lovely guy as well. So all wins on that front. And my third, which is in contrast to Rick, something I which I could see taking the whole thing is Sinceramente by Annalisa, because I don't think there's been like a 3 day period that's gone by where I've not seen the bridge from Sinceramente on my Twitter feed. It's cemented its way into the fandom that much. And it's gone big, like really big, not just in Eurovision community, not just even in Italy. I've seen like this song is has like gone international, and it's quite fair to see why because with Sanremo, you're gonna get it's a big music industry
Yeah.
sending what is probably like their best songs of the year because look at all that free promo and it shows because it's a banger. And I didn't really like Sanremo like the past 2 years. There's like maybe one or two songs that I could say I genuinely liked. But this year they went in. Like they had Angelina, they had Darjan, they had Annalisa. All of those would be like my winners like all the past few years. Because they just it's pop perfection. Sort of like Jacqueline, but I think on a level above, which it's not a slight on Jacqueline, it's a Annalisa can be as big as she wants to be, really.
Yeah. Like I I feel like this is a big contender for the win.
Yeah,
Genuinely, like I would probably be surprised to not see this or Kano win.
yeah,
Um, I'm happy to be surprised, but that's what I suspect is going to happen. I think it has never really 100% vibed with me. Like I think it's fine, but it kind of passes me by a little bit, which I think surprises a lot of people.
yes,
But I think that it's a perfectly like it's a great pop song, you know, this getting played was played all over Euroclub and everybody is just like banging to it.
yeah,
It's just, it is a good little pop nugget with a very memorable chorus that people can bop along
yeah.
to, and I think it's going to do really well.
Okay, I think my exact words for it were kittens having seen Chiramenti the lowest out of all of us feels wrong somehow. But
Yeah, I just never really vibed with it. There were a lot of more songs from San Remo that I preferred this year. Um, Darjan, in particular, but also like
I think,
Emma's
yeah,
song I really enjoyed, and that just a lot of songs this year that
I
came
think
out of
that
San
there were
Remo.
like
I was
so
like,
many songs this year they could have sent and done well, but they would just be silly to not send this, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's a perfect pick for them, and I think it'll pay off.
Yeah, so there's something that surprised me is your second place.
That
Because
surprised you, really?
yeah, yeah, I figured it would be like you'd like it, but like a sixth or seventh kind of a like, not a second.
Oh no, I'm fully on board. So my second place is Czechia's Midi with Red Flag Parade. Um, I have been on board with the song heavily since the moment I heard it. Um, so I've got no qualms in sticking that in at two. I mean, people are going to be appalled at my number one. But I've got no qualms. Look at Daniel's face. I've got no qualms with sticking that in. I just think it's a solid banger. Like, I don't know that there's anybody else really in the audience for this. I also don't know if there's anybody else really in the audience for my number one. But I'm gonna vote with my heart. I'm gonna vote with the song that I've probably played over and over. So Czechia are MIDI are great. If they will come back, send them again.
If you stay in, which please do, because I think people would like to laugh at ESCZ a little bit, but it's good, like
It's
genuinely.
it's good and
And
improving.
I think Aiko got very unlucky. I think last year's was at least half of the songs were actually very good. Some of them weren't, but we can work on that.
Yeah.
Maybe raise your standards for your Academy Award winning songwriters. But I like I think it's been a consistently good national final for a few years now. I'd like to see them stay in. I would have also liked to see Ellie with the Angels share in this, but can't have them all. Because
I think that would have been a little quite a bit lower down for me. Quite a bit
yeah,
lower down.
but
But there was probably two other songs they could have picked that would have probably still been in my top five.
I think I was like looking at my streaming stats for the Angels share like a few weeks ago, and I was surprised how high it was because I don't actively go and stream it, but when it comes on, I have a great time. Into my second, which is uh, something. Oh, again, I'm surprised at your opinion on this, which is "Sick and Soy" by Angie Fernandez from Spain,
Yeah, I rated
which
this
I think,
like 12 out of
yeah,
15 at 16. I yeah. No, you talk about
yeah,
why you love it first. Don't let me take over.
okay, okay. I just think it feels like in all the best ways a really sort of like ripped from a CD onto YouTube like 2000s rock song, and it's brilliant. Like it, I think it was one of the only things from Benidorm this year that sounded good with their disastrous sound mixing. Uh, yeah, it's just it scratches my brain in all the right ways. There's sometimes a song comes along and does that, and I can't really explain why it does. It was Tennessee Tears last year. It's Angie Fernandez this year.
Yeah, this does nothing for me. This is Avril Lavigne,
Yeah,
but
but that's
more
why it's
angsty
good.
and sexier.
That's why it's
Um,
good.
it's not for me. Like I can see it's a perfectly good example of what it is, but it's not what I would choose to listen to. Should we go on
What
to
do
our
you?
tops?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm about to get absolutely God, look how smug Daniel's face is. The one song out of this, and I don't think anybody else is going to vote for this as much as I voted this, but I put this absolutely top. I gave this my 12 points, is Sirena by Elba from the Maltese National Final.
Me
I
neither.
yeah. Yeah, you can just critique it. I enjoy it. It makes me smile every time it comes on. I'm not gonna even qualify this with anything exciting. I just bloody like the song.
I the first thing I will say is I forgot what it was until I looked through the playlist again. It it had a lot little impact on me, but I do think it's one of the better songs from Mess, which I know isn't saying something, but I think it would have done okay at Eurovision. But even, I see that I think the best song that Malta had came last, but that's not really their fault. So, because I think Malta is it's a funny one because some of the stuff they send is actually quite good, but it comes last anyway. I I think the Busker was fun. Sara Bonici was fun. This would have been fun. It wouldn't have done well, but people would have liked it. Not first place liked, but they'd have liked it.
All right, all right, all right. I'm getting roasted. I'm getting roasted here. I'm hearing it. Don't worry. I'm hearing it. Look, I like what I
I have a
like.
Malta flag to the left of me if you want it.
I like what I like.
And my number one, which is just by far the best one in the thing for me, because it's I have like a tier list of how me coded each song is from every year. This year there's like three like diamond standard me coded ones. It was Mean Melody, TRA's Der Conspiracy and Pascana. It has like everything I look for in a song, Pascana has. It's got just dark but staging that has a light. I So I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but I fucking live for when stagings have like a light or a lantern or some kind. That shit is awesome. More lights and staging, and she's done it brilliantly. I think the staging, the vocals, they show so eloquently and brilliantly the meaning of the song, the mood of the song, that and how Sarah Sipolov felt Maun Pascana. It's just a brilliant dark ballad that I think people overestimate its chances at Eurovision if it had beaten Windows 95 Man, which I'm not sad about because as much as I love songs like this, at my core, I am a hater. So seeing so many people angry at Windows 95 Man was worth this. But
I
I think,
I I've only just noticed that we have given opposite scores
oh,
to so
we
you
have.
put Pascal first, I put Pascal 11th, I put Serena first, you put Serena
I
11th.
think I would say Pascana is maybe
That
like
it
in
tells
my
you what you
like
need to know about mine and
yeah
Daniel's tastes, you
it
know?
I'd say it's like in my like four like this didn't go to Eurovision rankings. It's like fifth, fourth, somewhere around those region. Uh, and in my streaming stats for 2024, it's like right up there. I just love this song. Uh, Nothing else is going to get my 12 points.
It
Do you want to be a hater now? I feel I've earned it.
no, because I don't hate this. It's just not for me. It's a very well performed, very well done, extremely sad and grieving song, which is like the I don't listen to this kind of thing. Like I if I do listen to ballads, I tend to like them to be soft and sweet rather than like angry and fuming. Um which well, not angry and fuming. I think fuming is the wrong word, but just like grieving, I guess. So it's like I think that it's a great song. It's just not it's not a song for me. I it was performed really well. I genuinely don't know how it's gonna fare in this contest. I don't think it's gonna I feel like it's I just feel like it's not going to have the impact of some of the other
Well,
artists. It may struggle.
I think it's a case of it's popular in the fandom, but not with the people who are members of OJ.
Yes.
Because I think it, at least from what I've seen, the fans just like tend to skew younger in the fandom, where OG members don't in the same way because just reasons and stuff like that.
Watch us both be wrong and this come out
Yeah,
like top.
I would love to see it top, but in reality, I think maybe fifth, sixth,
Mm.
somewhere around that area. It's transitioning nicely. How do we think each song's gonna fare?
I feel like this is a game of two players.
I
Th
think,
this is Italy versus Norway. Norway have sent Dam Digida by Kano.
because of course they have. I think I remember a tweet like 5 minutes after MGP that year ended saying congratulations Kaino on winning because OG love Kaino. They will go to any OG event and they will be the heroes forever. Because as long as there is events like Euroclub, like LEP and any other pre-party, Kaino will have jobs because they are like royalty to these people. But I don't think Dam Diggy Da is as strong as Monument was or as strong as Spirit in the Sky was. And
Yeah,
I think
it's really hard
they
to
could suffer
tell.
for that.
Like I don't I know that Sinceramente has got a lot of love from outside the fandom, and it has good love from within the fandom. But my brain does remember when it was on in Euroclub in Malmö, somebody coming and running towards me going, "What is this song?" And I was like, "From San Remo?" And they were like, "I've never heard it before in my life." Um, so I don't know whether, that's going to kind of do some damage in that regard, that people maybe might not watch Sanremo so much, might not engage with the Italian music scene so much. I really don't know. Um,
I
but I
say,
do think it's a game of two halves. It's one of those songs, I think personally. And we can I will yeah, I don't know.
I, looking through the list, I think we could see some 0 pointers in here because I don't know who the audience would be for, say, Shower or Basim, or I say Zifa Black might be a bit higher above the rest, and maybe Marcella too. But we've
That
gone through our top five mostly because there are some stinkers this year.
yeah, there are some ones in this list that I
Like,
I do just think it's not it. Um,
like especially compared to like last year's one, there were like 5 or 6 of my top 12 songs of the entire year in there, and this year it's just completely different.
yeah, I mean, there is definitely some choices made with some of these as well, because I do think like if they had delved a little harder, they would have found better songs to send. Melvin. Um,
Yeah, yeah, I
but
would say Melvin was the real shock for me that he wasn't there.
yeah, massively surprised about that one. Um, but the choices are
I,
what they are.
I think a lot of them go to show that a lot of right choices were made in national finals this year
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Croatia, Lithuania, Denmark, there's not much to go through after the one that actually won is not in the consideration anymore.
yeah. I think Lithuania did have some stuff if you delved, but
The
stuff
Lithuania,
was
there was one song other than Look Talk I liked, and it didn't even make the final. So
mm, yeah. I think Lithuania had options, but I don't really blame them for going for the second.
can I
Um,
just say, at least it wasn't VB Gang. Thank you so much for not sending VB Gang.
Something about chicken nuggies. Uh, you know, um, yeah, there are some questionable choices. I don't know, maybe people don't want to host it next year. I don't know.
Uh,
Um,
can I just say that Loredan is the perfect choice for rest of the world?
yep,
Is the most rest of the world choice I've ever seen, and I love every second of it.
yep.
It unless we have any final thoughts or hating on any particular songs,
No, I think we're
I
we're good.
this has been our OGAE Second Chance ranking review. Be sure to follow that Euro site on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads,
Tumblr.
Tumblr, and whichever of the new ones we use. I think it's Blue Sky.
Yep.
And be sure to follow that Euro podcast on All Things Too and us too. We'll also be in the description.
And of
Thank
course,
you for
like and
watching.
subscribe, like and
Yeah,
subscribe.
that too. That too. The platform this is actually going to be on. Do those
Tell
ones.
tell me how questionable my taste is. I don't mind.
Very. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.